Connie Moser, and I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Nights at the Round Table. Our sponsor is PWC News.us, and our guest today is Kathy Bentz from Leadership Prince William. Kathy, thanks so much for coming.
Hi, Connie.
Oh, I haven't seen you for all year.
Well, it's nice to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
What are we going to talk about?
We're going to talk about Leadership Prince William.
Okay.
You know a lot about it because you've been through the program. But Leadership Prince William, sort of in a nutshell, our mission is to grow stronger leaders in Prince William County, Manassas and Manassas Park. But really the purpose of doing that is to make the community a better place to live and work. And so we have an adult program, which is what you and I both went through. Mm-hmm. Which class were you?
2012.
I was 20.
Quintessential Leaders.
And so there's a 10-month program that adults go through.
Oh, no. 2010.
Oh, I was third is superb.
Okay.
Third is superb. And we went through a 10-month program where a group of about 30 to 35 adults from all over the community. So it's people from their 20s to their 70s, from Haymarket to Quantico and everywhere in between, nonprofit, government, own their own business, the corporate sector, come together for that 10 months and learn a lot about the community. We have days devoted to economic development, arts and culture, education, public safety, but there's also a lot of team building so that they strengthen connections with each other, but also with the rest of the alumni and the community. And in those sessions, we bring in, we had lunch this year with the 3 school superintendents from the county and the 2 cities. Where else do you get to go and sit and have lunch and talk with those folks, or the police and fire chiefs from all the jurisdictions? So it's learning about yourself, learning about your community, and connecting with other people.
And then taking what you learned out into the community and doing something with it.
That's the goal, and that's also something we've really worked on this year. Like, I don't know if you saw, about a month ago, we partnered with Comcast for Comcast Cares Day.
I did.
And did community service projects over at the Boys and Girls Club, Jenny Dean School, the Serve Shelter, because if you're leaders, you give back to the community. And we did a day of service earlier this year at Serve. And the big thing that we are launching is now a youth leadership program, because again, leadership is about nurturing the next generation of leaders.
So what does that entail? Well, first of all, what age length span are we talking about?
Well, there's a couple different aspects to the youth program. The cool thing, this year's adult program, we gave them a class project. It's the first time we've ever done that. And they actually developed pilot programs to see what fit the community, what worked, what might be, that was okay, but what would be great long term. So we're actually still in the middle of some of that. We've been doing a mentoring project right near here at Bevel Middle School, where there are a group of 12 and 13, few 14-year-olds that our alumni are connecting with and helping them think about careers and their future and what possibilities are even open to them. We are going to run a 2-week summer youth leadership camp in July, and that's for rising 5th through 9th graders, and then some high school students will be our leaders in training. They'll help be camp counselors, and it's sort of a miniature version of the adult program, same topics, but engaging at the kids level.
Wow.
And Youth for Tomorrow is hosting that for us. They're the host site for the entire program as a sponsor and community partner. So trying to bring in kids at different ages and not necessarily picking the kids who are already the uber leader, I'm the president of everything, trying those kids who maybe with a little nudge could really showcase their own leadership potential and learn more about themselves.
What is the criteria for, obviously you have to apply.
Sure.
And so what is the criteria? What is do you have to be, do you have to make great grades? Do you have to?
So there's an application which is online at our website, leadershippprincewilliam.org. There's an application both for the adults and the youth. But for the youth, we ask them about their grades. We ask them about community service or volunteerism that they've done. We ask them about extracurricular activities. And then there's a couple essay questions like, how would you want to serve your community? What do you think leadership is? So we'll take all of that into context. And again, since this is a pilot program, it's only going to be up to about 45 kids this summer. But if it goes well, we hope to expand it and make that open to more kids in the future. So we'll consider all those factors as we do the selection process.
I'm really excited about that because it was something that I mentioned while I was attending Leadership Prince William, because I knew a lot of adult leaders, but the here particularly, if you start early and get, because it seems to me that community services is not as prevalent. Maybe it's the age, or maybe it's where we live, but it just seems to me that people aren't as involved in their community when they're adults. Everybody's working long hours, and they all commute, and on the weekends they've just got to catch up with everything they couldn't do all week long. So if you cultivate leaders from a younger age, then it's part of their life. It's not like something you come into. Most of the leaders I know are actually retirees. They've finished everything else they had to do, and now they're looking for, a plan or how to spend the rest of their lives. But how much better to get them, absolutely.
Well, and the nice thing is now we will, as this class graduates, we'll have 230 adult graduates, and I remember you talking about it, and I did when I went through. When you go through the adult program, you're like, okay, what do I get to do now? What am I going to do now? It was all about that. So this is a great way to immediately connect the adult or alumni with the youth. So you're nurturing young leadership, and you're role modeling service to them. We did a really cool program with Prince William County Schools, their student leadership conference, and there's a little personal assessment tool we do in the adult program that you'll recall called Emergenetics.
Oh, yeah.
And we did this with their student leaders. There are about 250 of them, and so we showcase leaders aren't one model. There's not one stick figure that's a leader.
Right.
And some are social, some think very analytically, some are very visionary, and we showcase the kids that. We even used characters from the Avengers to showcase it. But again, to get these kids real live role models who are leaders, and wow, I'm not the same as all my peers, but that doesn't mean I can't be a leader too. So we're really excited.
So how are you getting your message to the kids? How do they learn about Leadership Prince William for? Do you say for youth? Is that?
We're calling it Youth Leadership Prince William.
Okay.
So what we're doing, again, because of the pilot, there are a lot of community partners that as soon as they learned we were doing this said, we want in. So it's the school divisions. We've talked with all the school divisions, Rotary Club, the Boys and Girls Club. I'm going to miss a whole bunch of these partners. But what we're doing for the pilot is a lot of them are nominating 2 or 3 kids. We even have organizations that said, hey, if you have kids because of financial issues who can't pay, it's $360 for the full 2 weeks, which is really reasonable.
Sure.
But we don't want anyone kept out because of financial need. So we actually have scholarships that local companies are providing. So I suspect it'll be like the adults. We'll have more kids than we can accommodate because all of the partners want to nominate. And we've been getting lots of calls and emails. How could my kid, our own alumni who have children that age are like, I want my kid to apply for this program. So I don't think we'll have any trouble filling it. But again, we're piloting it, so see what works.
Occur to me that you are going to success yourself into the corner. Is it?
What do you mean we're success? Tell me what you mean by that before I answer.
When you get so overwhelmed with, and it's inevitable. There's 85,000 kids in school in Prince William County, and so once this program gets to be well known, if you're limited to 45 out of 85,000, that's a scary prospect.
Well, even with the adults,
True.
We have a county of what? Between the county and cities, what are we up to now? 430,000 people, and we have one class a year with 30 to 35 leaders. So we're a small organization. We have a grand total of 2 staff, and then our alumni who make it work. So we know that right now we're just able to kind of, do small pieces, but that's one of the reasons why we are trying to partner with other organizations. So I mentioned that we were partners with the county schools. They invited us at their student leadership conference because they reach so many more kids. Youth for Tomorrow. Micron is a really big partner. So part of it is we do what we can and then trying to partner with others so there's sort of ripples in the pond to build the community leadership.
I like that. Probably, I may be speaking out of turn here, but I would think that most of the children who attend a leadership program will be here into their adulthood, where some of our class has moved on, and we hate losing them after they worked with us and we bonded together, and it's like losing your family members when they move away. But from the practical side, they're taking all that good knowledge with them. And so
Yeah.
working with youth, if you bring them in slowly, and then I can envision that they would eventually would they get an edge if they've been in the youth leadership program? Did they
Come
get
back and
an
be the
in?
adults?
Yeah.
I mean, would be a great model if these kids went through the youth program. Maybe they went to college, came back to get a job, and then were like, I'd like to join the youth program. I mean, that would be
Yeah.
fantastic to be able to do that. And by the same token, I think probably some of the parents who put their children through the youth camp are going to go, wow, I'd like to learn more about the adult program. So I think they'll probably feed into each other and connect.
You may someday be bigger than a staff of two.
We could have a family. We could have a family program. So, hey, we doubled staff size this year. You know, we're growing by leaps and bounds already. But really, our alumni, as you know, our alumni is what makes it work.
Right.
Because they do so much of the effort. They're the ones who are the mentors. They're going to help us at the summer camp. They help us with the sessions for the adults. So that's where our people power is in our own alumni base.
Well, I want to thank you very much for joining me today. If you would like to say a few more words after we go off the air, we'll be glad to hang around. I'm pretty sure our producer is going to want to do a little promo spot for you, so that we don't want to call it a teaser, but that's pretty much what it is.
Sounds good.
Okay, and so thanks all of you for joining us today. We hope that you'll come back again and watch Nights at the Round Table, and be sure to follow us. I started to say swallow us. Follow us on social media.